Bore da, good morning. I'm in the kitchen this morning because it's cold. And I don't know if you realise, but my office is in the cellar of this house. And I got dressed and I came downstairs, make a cup of tea, ready to do the film. And I realised how cold it was. And I've got two choices. I can either go down another flight of stairs into the cellar and put the heating on and sit in the cold and wait for the heating to come on. Or I can walk up 2 flights of stairs, because I sleep in the attic, to get a jumper so that I'm warm enough in the cellar. Or I could just sit in the kitchen with a cup of tea and wake up a little bit and talk to you and then decide which of those 2 options is the better. So I've opted for the cup of tea in the kitchen, and actually it gives me a chance to show you that. Look at this, isn't this the most amazing sunflower? It's supposed to be that colour. I know, isn't it beautiful? It's stunning. And there's a whole, let me show you. Look, isn't that beautiful? So they were a gift yesterday from a parishioner. In Landevord Church yesterday, it should have been a regular Sunday Eucharist, but we'd made a decision that we were going to have a sort of harvest theme, not do the big harvest festival, because it's just not possible in the tiny churches with so few numbers, and it feels mean to have not invited all the farmers in and do the big harvest tea. But we're going to give a little nod to harvest in a normal communion service. And then I had a wonderful phone call on Saturday from a very regular faithful parishioner saying, could we baptise my baby as well? I said, yes, let's do it. So we had this riotous, chaotic service in which we did communion, a baptism, and mentioned harvest. And somehow we managed to do it, and these were a gift as part of that. One of the things that I talked about in my sermon yesterday was how we have that reading in John's Gospel where Christ describes himself as the vine and we are the branches. And I likened us to the grapes hanging from the branches, in fact, in that each one of us has a place that is just right for us and exactly where we should be, and that we all have our place designed for us as who we are, and that we're called to be exactly who we are, and nobody can take our place on that vine. It is our place in God's kingdom. And as I was making the cup of tea this morning and I was thinking, what shall I talk to you about? I was also reminded of my Friday evening. So Friday evening I had a birthday treat. It was my birthday way back. But the children had bought me tickets to go to the cinema. But not any old cinema, it was the drive-in cinema. So we went in the car with a picnic and we watched Dirty Dancing, which is a film of my youth and an absolute delight. And just one of the children and myself went, just Libby and me, because the Newport local lockdown had come into place, and so I wasn't able to let the other children come because that would have been crossing a boundary, and you can't do that for non-essential reasons and all of that. Anyway, and Libby shrieked with laughter when the music came on at the beginning, and I clapped and I started to dance, which brought me to the children's book I used to read when the children were little, called Giraffes Can't Dance, which is a book all about a giraffe who can't dance the way the other animals in the jungle think he should. And then one day a different kind of music plays and the giraffe just lets himself go and dances wildly and beautifully and passionately to music that is right for him. And the sort of moral of the story is we can all dance if we can find the right music. It all fits, doesn't it? So my rambling brain, which had started with I'm too cold, I'll make a cup of tea, then went to thinking about, well, what do I talk to you about? And I'm on to a little snippet from my Sunday sermon, which took me back to Friday, which took me back to a children's book I used to read, 20 years ago. And it all just fits, doesn't it? So what are you going to dance to today? What's your music? What's your place on God's vine? where are you meant to be, and how are you going to honour exactly who you are by dancing to the music that is right for you? Oh my goodness. I've pulled it all together. Doesn't really happen that often, does it? Usually we end up with a few loose strands and I just go, yeah, well, there we are. But hey, I've pulled it all together today and we've got quite a neat little message there, which bodes well for the rest of the day. And I hope you have a good day today. Listen to what God is asking of you so that you can do exactly as you should and be exactly where you should be. I hope I have a good day, and I hope I'm going to talk to my children later, 2 of them in university, so that's a little worrying. And yeah, there we go. Right, I can have my cup of tea and I'm feeling kind of ready to go. Have a lovely day. God is with you. Oh, can you hear the coffee machine percolating there? I've made Will a big pot of coffee and it's just making those gurgling noises of a finished pot. There we are. It's all real life at the vicarage, isn't it? Hey, have a good day. Lots of love. God bless. Bye-bye.